Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, three little brother pigs decided to leave their mother and father's house and go out into the big world to find their fortunes. I'm going to farm the land and grow fields of wheat. I'll sell my wheat to the miller, and they'll use the wheat straw to build my house.
A house of straw? That doesn't sound very strong.
Straw houses are very snug and warm and dry. What need do I have for a strong house? The rains and winds are always gentle here.
Just the same, I would want a stronger house. I'm going to be a lumberjack. I will cut trees and sell the logs to the sawmill. Then I will use the boards the sawmill makes to build a fine, strong wooden house for myself.
It will leak. Wooden houses always leak.
Well, brothers, as for me, I'm going to be a bricklayer, and I will build my house with red bricks and mortar. It will be the finest house you've ever seen.
Bricks? It will be cold and drafty.
Yes, brick houses are very drafty. That's true.
Oh, I'll be careful to build it very tight and to put fireplaces in all the rooms, and it will certainly be much stronger than your straw and wooden houses could ever hope to be.
I just don't understand all this talk about strength. What causes the two of you to worry? Will a hurricane come and blow my house away? Will a huge rhinoceros ram its big head into your wooden house, my brother, and knock it down? Will the earth tremble and loosen all the bricks in your house, brother, and cause it to fall down into a pile of rubble? You're both acting so silly. There are no hurricanes so far inland as we live. There is no rhinoceros here in our sunny little village. And earthquakes never happen this far east. I am going to build my house of straw just as I planned. Having said that, the first little pig turned down a split in the road and waved goodbye to his brothers. He was off to start his new life. Well, the hard-working little pigs each did exactly as they said they would. All three became quite rich, and all three of their homes were so beautiful that they were the talk of their small village. One day, as the farmer pig worked in his fields, he looked up to see a large, frightening wolf sneaking into his field and headed straight for him. The pig dropped his shovel and rake and ran as fast as he could run to his little straw house. Just as he reached the door, he looked back over his shoulder and saw the snarling wolf just a few feet away. The farmer pig quickly opened the door and jumped inside. He slammed the door and locked it behind him just as the wolf sprang upon the doorstep. What do you want? Go away! Go away this instant!
Why are you being so rude? Everyone in the village has told me that you have a beautiful house. I just wanted to see the inside for myself. May I come in?
The little pig was no fool. This drooling monster was not interested in sofas and curtains. He was interested in a meal. And the farmer pig knew that the wolf had him in mind for the main course. Go away, I say! I know you mean to eat me! Go away!
Little pig, let me come in!
Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin!
Very well, I tried to be nice, so now I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in!
And the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and sure enough, he blew the straw house down. At the very first huff, the little pig knew his house would not be able to stand against the strong-winded wolf, so he ran for his life out the back door to his brother's wooden house. The wolf was very angry to find, after all his hard huffing and puffing, that the pig had escaped.
Oh, nasty little porker. I'll bet he ran to his brother's house down the road. I can catch up with him there, and instead of one pig dinner, I will have two.
The wolf ran swiftly to the wooden house belonging to the lumberjack pig. Brother, are you home?
What's all the banging about? I'm coming!
The pig opened his door and was nearly knocked down by his brother leaping into the room. Close the door and lock it, quick! The wolf is chasing me! He came to my door, and when I wouldn't let him in, he huffed and puffed and blew my house down!
Oh, dear me! Well, we tried to tell you to build a stronger house, but you wouldn't listen to anyone.
Suddenly, they heard a low growl outside the door.
I know you're in there. I can hear you both talking. You might just as well open the door and let me come in and eat you now. It will save all of us so much trouble. What do you think?
Go away! We will not open the door and be eaten!
Be reasonable, little brothers. There's no escaping me. Let's just get this over with and done.
I said no! Go away!
Little pig, let me come in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
The wolf huffed, and the wooden house shook. He puffed, and the wooden house fell. He jumped into the pile of loose lumber and sniffed for the little pigs, but they had run out the back door and down the road to their brother's house.
Well, if this doesn't beat all, my dinner has escaped again. But I know where they went. They went to hide with the third brother, who lives over the hill in a big brick house. And that's just fine with me. Now I will have a feast of 3 pigs.
Oh, brother, quickly answer your door!
Brother, hurry!
What's all the rush? I'll be right there.
As the door opened, the 2 frightened pigs rushed into the hallway, locking the door behind them.
Good morning to you too, brothers.
Oh, bricklayer brother, we are being chased by a wolf who means to eat us both.
He huffed and he puffed and he blew Farmer Brother's house in. Then he huffed and he puffed and he blew my wooden house in too.
Told you guys to build a good strong brick house like this one. But did you listen? No. Now see what's happened. You have no homes, and you came close to losing your lives.
Not close enough. They still have their little piggy lives, but not for long. Let me in.
You can bang on my door all day long. I don't care. I won't let you in.
Little pig, let me come in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
And the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, but he could not blow the house in.
Open up, or I'll huff, and I'll bluff. I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
Oh, I don't think so, Mr. Wolf. This house is too strong for you. Go away and think of something else.
The wolf was terribly angry now. His stomach was so empty that it growled louder than he did. He began to look around the house for some other way to get in. He checked all the windows, but they were shut tight. He pulled on the back door, but it was locked and bolted. He pulled on the side door, but it was locked and barred too. Then he saw the chimney.
That's it. I'll crawl up on the roof and slide down the chimney. And when I hit the bottom, I'll leap out into the room and gobble up all those smug little pigs.
So the wolf scrambled up the vines growing on the side of the house and finally made it to the roof. Inside the house, the bricklayer pig heard the scratching and clawing of the wolf's feet.
So he means to come down the chimney, does he?
What will we do?
He's going to eat us all.
Well, I'll just make some tea.
Tea? We're all about to die and you're making tea? The bricklayer pig half carried and half pushed a great big kettle to the fireplace. He filled it with water and built a very hot fire underneath it. Isn't that an awfully big pot of water for 3 cups of tea?
Well, you never know who might drop in at the last minute.
The kettle began to boil and steam. There was more scratching from up on the roof.
Ready or not, here I come!
The wolf leaped into the chimney and fell straight down into the steaming pot. As his tail hit the boiling water, he jumped out into the room and fled to the door. He tore the bolts and locks open with his teeth, opened the door, and raced out, heading for the river. When he came to the river, he sank his blistered tail and 2 hind feet into the cool, cool water.
My poor feet and tail. Those pigs aren't worth all the trouble and pain they've caused me. I'm getting out of this terrible village. I'm going where life is easier for a poor, hard-working wolf.
So he ran off down the road, never to be seen again by the villagers. The next day, the farmer pig and the lumberjack pig said goodbye to their brother and thanked him for his help. You saved our lives, brother.
We will always be grateful to you.
Remember, bricks. I told you, it's the only way to build.
By the following year, the 3 most beautiful houses in the village still belonged to the little pig brothers. But this time, all 3 houses were made of brick. And oddly enough, villagers heard that living in the next town over was a strange inventor who looked something like a wolf with bald feet, and who was working on a weird machine called the Huff Puff Bulldozer. Well, probably nothing would ever come of it anyway.